I'm back. Welcome to Knitting at Tiffany's. Thank you for returning to watch Knitting at Tiffany's, and thank you if you are a new viewer. I hope you enjoy this podcast. I first wanted to say I am so sorry, truly, I am so sorry that I've been gone so long, but I have wonderful news, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. In August, we were on vacation, and I got engaged. Yay! And so it became the fact where we got back from vacay in September, and we had a wedding to plan, work to deal with, and life. And unfortunately, I did try to podcast, and I was going to get hopefully a podcast out, but we just didn't have a chance to do it. And when I say we, I do the podcasting, but I have excellent help for editing my podcasts, and I don't do any of that. Behind the scenes, it's not done by me at all. So, to tell you a little bit about what happened, we got engaged, or I got engaged, same thing, in August, and September we came back and we had a wedding to plan, and it was crazy. Crazy busy, crazy awesome though. But it goes to show that you can definitely plan a wedding within like 3-4 months, because we got engaged beginning of January, or sorry, married on the beginning of January, engaged in August, and it was all done, and it was amazing. We had an amazing, beautiful wedding. It was awesome. It was my fairy tale princess wedding with my Prince Charming that came true, and it was just absolutely amazing. So I apologize to everybody that I've been away for so long, but that's what was going on, and it just took over, our free time that we had. And my husband, as I said, does all my editing for me, and so I have to thank him, because without him, I could podcast, but they would never be posted, and no one would ever see them. So I have to give him shout outs for helping me with all that. So on to my podcast. This is a knitting podcast, and we'll keep it really short this week, because just to, I wanted to let you know all that, and I'm working on putting some things together for our future podcasts with some new talent and creativity. So we'll have some of that coming up for our next episodes. But today I just wanted to talk about their World in a Notebook, and I have 145 members in my group right now. And thank you everyone that, for new people that have joined the group, and for people that have stayed in the group while I've been kind of MIA. I appreciate it all. I'm hoping to be more active in the groups between my life, my work. It's very hard for me to get online. I'm looking for a moderator. If anybody would be wanting to help me out, I would totally appreciate it. You can let me know. You can PM me on Ravelry. I am Craft T, CRAFTT on Ravelry, and I'd always be happy to have someone that could help moderate my group and help out in, maybe help think of some creative ideas, CALs or things like that we can come up with. The other thing I wanted to talk about was diamonds are a girl's best friend, and I joined Yarnbox last year, and I have to tell you, I love it. Being Canadian, we incur shipping costs just like international people do, and with Yarnbox, I have to say it's worth every penny. You're always getting, 2 full skeins of yarn. It could be, whatever weight you choose. I tend to choose, sometimes I think I get the odd sock yarn, but usually it's DK, worsted, sports, something that I like to knit everything except for pretty much lace. I haven't knit anything lace yet. And I love to knit Belkies and things like that, but sock yarns, I have a ton of sock yarn. Probably mostly for color, because I pick yarn based on color. I love when something catches my eye. I don't even know what it might knit up like, but I love the colors, so I tend to buy based on color. Usually I don't have a pattern in mind. It's just sometimes that I find something, I love it, and then it stays in my stash for a while, because I can't find anything that I want to knit with it. And then sometimes something will pop up. And I'm not a big shawl person, which is really funny. I have some shawls I've made. I haven't woven the ends yet. And I've worn maybe one like around the house because I'm cold, and I'll wrap it around my neck more like a scarf. And I'm like, that's okay to do that. But I still think, shawls they're so pretty that they're meant to be worn with a beautiful skirt and a top or a dress, or, I have a hard time when I wear it with jeans and a t-shirt. It just feels like it's kind of out of place for me. And it just doesn't go. But I think I'm starting to overcome that, and using it more for the fact that it gives you the warmth. It gives you that comfort. It's almost like wearing a hug. If that explains it well, it's just, to me, that's what it's like. It's wearing a hug, and you feel that warmth wrapped around you, and especially when you've taken the time to put the creative talent into knitting it, and then there's an indie dyer behind it, and they've put that special time into making it and dyeing it up. It just is like that extra big hug that you get when you wear a shawl, and it's such a great feeling. So I've started to wear them around the house more, and wearing them more like a scarf as well. So when going out, I'll use it as a scarf underneath my coat or something, and it's just, and it's a pop of color sometimes, or it has a memory to it. And I love when someone goes, oh, that's such a beautiful scarf or shawl, and you're like, thank you, I made it. Like, that's the best thing. I always have to say it. You always have to throw that in there, because you've put so much work into that, and the person that's created the yarn, that indie dyers, put work into that, and so why not tell people you made it? Usually the reaction is, oh, you made it, and I'm like, yeah, I do knit. You don't have to be like 80 to knit. You can knit at any age you want. There is not an age limit put on there. It's just such a, I believe, like it's just something that is like a stereotype that you tend to, knit. You have to be a person of wisdom that has to be around 80. But it's so not true. I mean, there's young children that are knitting to this day. There's men that knit now. You see more people doing it. When I travel, I'll see people at the airport. I won't be the only one sitting there knitting, waiting for my flight. You'll see the other odd woman knitting. She could be sitting with her husband, she could be alone, the odd man knitting, people crocheting. It's nice to see that people actually bring it out more, but it's still very rare, and but it's okay. That's what makes it unique and so much fun to talk about when someone actually does come to talk to you about it. I've gotten stopped so many times going through security, where people don't know what's in my bag because they've never seen knitting needles or what I'm doing. And I had one lady pull me aside, because the lady that was scanning my stuff went, check her bag. And the lady that pulled me aside was like, that's all you have is one knitting project with you? And I laughed, and I'm like, yeah. I'm only gone for a few days. And I said, you think you'd carry more, but I'm like, when I go for work, I just sometimes don't have the time to knit, or I'm exhausted after a full day of running around, that I get back to the hotel, and I'll have maybe an hour of knit time before I go to bed. And I'll knit on the flight for, whatever it is, a 2-3 hour flight. So yeah, and I'm not Miss Speed Knitter. I don't knit with speed. I think sometimes I'm a slow knitter, but I'm okay with that. I love to knit, and that's all that counts. So if I'm a slow knitter and it takes up time and it just takes me a little bit longer to get through a project, I'm okay with that. So back to Yarnbox. Sorry, a little distracted there. Little detour. We're coming back now. Yarnbox I've been a member of since, I think last year, September it might have been. And as I was saying, it is a phenomenal package that I receive every month, and I love it. And I have to say, like, honestly, I'm very picky. I'm picky with colors, and if you guys know me, I'm very picky with colors. Yarns I'm okay with, like different weights. I'm usually okay with that. As I said, lace weight is still something that I haven't knit with. I have maybe one skein because I got it in another club that I belonged to probably about a year or so ago, and I've never knit with it. It's just sitting there. It's gonna be maybe knitted up just so that I can knit with it and what it's like and do the pattern. But I love the fact that I get something different every month. The only thing is color for me. When I get something that's not my color, it's very hard for me to accept it because, you know, what am I going to do with it? You know, it's not like I'd love to knit. I do. And, you know, I don't mind knitting for people that appreciate my knitting and that will, you know, will love to wear something that I give them. So I want to make sure that, you know, if I'm going to take the time to knit something, especially out of a yarn that is not something that I like for color, and I'm going to give it to someone that they're going to appreciate it. And, you know, and always another knitter is always going to appreciate your stuff. And they're not going to say usually no because they know the time that you've put into it. They know, you know, the indie dyer, things like that. So it's very different that, you know, a knitter would not. But for someone that's not a knitter, to knit something out of the blue and give it to this person, I'd hate for it to sit in a box in a closet and never be used ever. That would break my heart. So with Yarnbox, when I get something I don't like, I try to trade. And it's hard because most of the Yarnbox members are in the States. There's not very many in Canada or within my area that I can actually just, you know, trade with. And shipping is ridiculous. So sometimes I'll have my friend over dye for me, and that is great. Not that I know how to do it, she does. So I'm so lucky I have talented friends around me, and that will, you know, change something. It'll change the color, and yes, I know the indie dyer especially making something, but it will change it enough that it will make me love it, and I will use it. So I always think of it as adding a touch of love to something that's been already created with love, so that I'll use it and I'll get to wear it and I'll get to enjoy it, and that way I don't have to give it away to someone else or keep it in a bin until, you know, maybe a de-stash or trade with someone, you know, because eventually these yarns you're getting from Yarnbox, you're wanting to use them, you're wanting to try something different, and that's the whole point of belonging to a club. I still belong to it, and there was a few months in a row that I have to tell you I didn't get the colors I liked. And I did. I traded them with a girlfriend that is local to me that gets the yarn boxes. And it was great because she loved one of the colors that I had, and I was okay with that. This is February's yarn box, and I didn't show you January's because I knitted it up actually. I think that was January's. Yeah, it was January's. And it was funny because I actually love the color, and that was the first time I've ever knitted a yarn box yarn from an indie dyer, and it was from the same indie dyer, both skeins, and I'll show it to you on my next podcast. I'll talk about it, but this February indie dyer is 2 indie dyers actually. So it's kind of exciting because one of them, I follow her on Instagram and I love some of her yarns, and I haven't really been on a yarn diet. I have so much stash, and with the wedding and everything, there was so much expenses, and we paid for our own wedding. So I was just cautious with, you know, buying yarn when I have so much in stash and I have so much I can knit, and it's like there's never enough time in a day to knit everything you have. And so I was just a little bit more cautious with not purchasing anything. And since I spent so much, not so much money, but I spent enough money at SSK last year on yarns, and when I went to Highland on the Fly in October, which is a knitting retreat in Maine, I spent money there a little bit, and so I was just cautious enough, and so I just kept this yarn box club going because it's prepaid for 6 months in a row. So you pay it, I forget about it, and then I get great gifts in the mail. And who doesn't love yarn coming in the mail like every month? So this here is Knitted Wit, and I'm so excited. Like, look at this. Wow, actually that's showing great color. Wow, that's awesome. So it's like blues and greens, and if people know me, I'm very particular with my greens. I love the emerald greens, the dark greens. I just don't like mossy stuff. neon greens. So, and I love blues, and majority of blues I do love. So I was really excited. There's a knitted wet right there. I was really excited with this. I thought this turned out beautiful. And so this is one of the skeins, and it's a Pullworth shimmer, it's called. And it's an 85 Pullworth wool and 15% silk. And it's like so super squishy and soft. And this is 330 yards. So this is awesome. And then the other indie dyer is Sincere Sheep. Oh, sorry. And there you go. That's her logo there. And look at this blue. Like, this is totally, you know, my blue. And it's beautiful. And again, this is also Pullsworth 85%, and it's a Tessa silk 15%. And it's funny because it is soft and squishy, but I don't know if there's a different kind of silk in here that makes this a little bit softer to the touch and silky, or maybe, I don't know if the word silkier, but it feels a little softer to me, and the knitted wit does. And so, but they came together, so let's show you that. So they came together so that you do a shawl pattern with using the 2 yarns and combining them. And with both of them being 330 yards, it is a DK weight. I mean, sorry, the Sincere Sheep, just to let you know, is called Luminous for her DK. And they are both 330 yards, and they're great. And I just don't know if I can put the two of them together. I mean, it is a Kira Delaney pattern. That's the pattern there. And so that's what the shawl looks like. And it looks great knitted up when it's knitted up like that. I just don't know when, like, holding these two together like this, which you're not getting the color there, but there you're getting the color better. Holding those two together, I just don't see it. I don't see it, but the picture shows it knitted up great. So I'm just not sure if I'm going to put them together or if I will knit them separately. I mean, it is 330 yards. You can do fingerless mitts, hats, things like that. So I'm not sure. Or I might have something in my stash. I don't have a lot of DK weight in my stash. I have more so fingering weight, like I said earlier. So maybe I'll wait and keep it for something else. Or I don't know. We'll see. I might be, you know, it is a shawl, but I might be tempted to just try it to see what it's like and to knit it up, and you never know. So this was something that was my diamonds in the rough. Sorry, my diamonds are a girl's best friend, and this was my enabling. So it was great. I'm so happy for that. And I said I love getting different indie dyers yarns to try, especially when some of them are on my list, like the knitted wit was. And I always look forward to getting new things like that. You know, sometimes you look at their websites or their Etsy sites to go and, you know, see what kind of colors they have, what yarns. And again, for us, it's shipping. It's just, you know, to have one skein of yarn and pay $8 to $13 of shipping is sometimes ridiculous. So I wish there was another way to do it, make it, you know, cheaper, or, you know, it's just a food for thought when indie dyers offer free shipping in the US. You know, I know shipping in the US could be $3 to $5. So if they're offering free shipping on purchasing a skein of yarn, why can't they offer that to Canadians and take that $3 to $5 and add it as a discount to the shipping to Canadians? So instead of us paying $8 to $13, you know, if we're paying, you know, $8 and we offer us $3, $5 is reasonable. I would pay definitely $5 to have something shipped here, and that would be a great way for indie dyers in the U.S. to try to have, instead of free shipping, you know, have discounted shipping to Canada. I'm not sure about the international pricing. I really don't know how that works, but I know that, you know, shipping goes up every year and everybody complains about it. And there was one indie dyer that used to ship out of Canada. I don't think she dyes anymore, which is too bad. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. But what she used to do was she would take her yarn and, you know, those vacuum machines where you vacuum pack your meats and stuff like that for your freezer, and you put your meat inside a bag, and then it sucks the air out of the bag, and then it becomes like this thin, and it's super tight. So she used to do that with her yarn. She'd lay it out flat, and then she'd suction cup, she'd vacuum up the bags, and so you would have a bag like this big with yarn in it, and it would be like this thin. And for us, it's being able to, when you're shipping something, I'm told it's based on the size as well as the weight, but if you can get into a certain size bag, then it's only maybe $3 to $5 shipping instead of putting in a box. And I know people love opening stuff up and it becoming pretty wrapped up and getting all that stuff, but sometimes to save money on shipping, you know, that prettiness might have to be gone. But you know, that's just a suggestion. I really like that she did it. It didn't bother me, the fact that my yarn came in a vacuum package bag. Actually, I love it because right now I know it's safe. It's safe from my cats. It's safe from dust. It's safe from, you know, if there's bugs or anything that get at it, or moths or anything like that. I know that yarn's safe and nothing will happen to it. Where all my other yarns I have in, you know, Ziploc bags, and I'm actually looking to start my craft room. So I'm looking for like what do you call it? Like Rubbermaid bins, but I want clear ones that are sealed though, so they're airtight, and I can't seem to find anybody. If anybody of you can recommend me anything, please PM me, message me, Instagram me, anything, just let me know. I'm looking for them, but they have to be in Canada. There's a trick. Good luck finding them. I'm sure there's tons in the US, but sometimes they're not here. The other thing I wanted to show today are Diamonds Are Forever. And I received this yarn back in 2013. And this was, I'm sorry, I don't have my ends knitted in, and that's probably not a first for me. Again, this is a shawl, so I don't have my ends knitted in yet. And it's been sitting around for a while. It's just, I hate weaving in ends. I know some people say it's, oh, you know, it's like, you know, you're finishing the project and it's the best thing ever because then you know it's done. No. When I stop knitting the project and it's completed, then it's done. This is just like, I have to do it. It's like, you know, why can't someone else do it for me? I'm sure there's other people that enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. It's like a chore that I have to do and that I don't like to do. I eventually get around to it. This is a shawl that is not my colors. There's the first problem with it. It's not the problem. I can't say it's a problem. And it has nothing to do with the indie dyer. This yarn, I'm the program director of our guild here, and I wanted to do something different in 2013 when people joined the guild. The first year in 2012, when I took that position, we got knitting bags, and people loved them. And they were a canvas bag that, you know, you could throw all your projects in, or you can put your finished objects in there, and you bring it to knit night or like guild night, and we all had the same bag. If we went on a day trip together, we could use that bag for shopping, and we all had the same bag. So I just wanted something to give back, because I thought that, you know, you're joining the guild. You're paying money. Yes, we're doing different things every month, but at the same time, it was something nice to give back, and I always like to do that. So that was the first year, and I don't know how many years that guild existed that we did that. And the second year in 2013, I tried to be a little bit more creative, think something a little bit outside the box, and I called up or emailed my friend Jen. Genevieve from Turtle Pearl Yarns is amazing, and she's such a sweetheart, and she's got such a great heart, and she has amazing yarns. Like, if you've never knit with her yarns or bought her yarns, go do it. Her stuff's amazing. Her colors are beautiful. One of her most popular colorways, I still, to this day, and I think it's called trench coat now. It's actually the Burberry striping, like the typical Burberry scarves that you see, the Burberry pattern that exists, and people have knitted sock yarn. I don't know if now she has it in different weights, but originally it was a sock yarn, and it's exactly like Burberry. You probably wouldn't know the difference, except now you're going to have hand knitted socks that are Burberry, which are awesome. And that was so popular for her, and I remember people were like buying it up as fast as they could. and it was amazing, and it's still popular to this day. People still love that pattern, or I can't say that pattern, but they still love how she dyes that yarn, and it's still a good seller for her. So I emailed her saying her that I was looking for something for the guild. Would she do a custom colorway for us? And of course she would, because that's Jen and she's awesome. So she's like, sure, Tiffany, what can we do for you? And of course, me, I would go to the blues, the grays, the blacks, the pinks, colorways I like. And I brought it to my guild thinking, you know what, this is not about me. and that, this is for my guild. These are for the 50 members or 50 plus members we have in our guild. And let's do a vote. So when I went to them, I said, what would you ladies love to see? Now, people agreed with me and other people didn't. And you're going to find that. So because we start our guild in September, and that's a fall season, we came up with doing fall colors. And I found some pictures and went through them and showed the guild, and then I emailed them to Jen and said these were some of the ideas of colorways. And Jen came up with, and I hope you can see this. Yep, there's the colors. So Jen came up with, see the beautiful rusties, the yellowing of the leaves, the greens that are still like the evergreens that exist in the forest. There's the reds and stuff. It turned out really beautiful. I have to say, it is gorgeous. It's exactly what we asked for. So we named it, Jen asked me what to name it, and actually this is where I did come up with the name. So it's YRKG, which stands for our guild, and we called it Ladies Love Autumn. And it's because all the ladies in our group, we're all talking about how our guild starts in September and autumn starts around that time, so we called it Ladies Love Autumn. And this is actually her Big Turtle DK weight yarn, and it's stunning. So this is the, of course, what else? Martina Bram Brickless, and I actually love this pattern. I have to say, I love knitting it. It's such a quick and easy knit, but it's so much fun because it changes every so often, and it's great. You never get bored of it, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I hope you can see that because I can't really see. But it's huge. I haven't blocked it yet, and it's actually bigger than my wingspan. Oh, there's a good picture. Sorry, see, those are my ends I haven't woven in yet. But it's absolutely beautiful, and see, I'm sure people will say, hey, those colors look great on you. Here, actually, let's take out the pink out of the background because my hoodie has pink in it. And of course it does, because I love pink. So let's see. See, I'm not saying the colors don't maybe suit me. I don't know. They're not colors I love. How about that? And I probably wouldn't wear them. But I was going to give this away, and I held on to it because I wasn't sure. I really loved how it turned out. It is 2 skeins of the DK weight Big Turtle from Turtle Pearl Yarns. And I really... I do. I love the pattern, and I love how it turned out, and eventually I'll get to weaving in the ends. But it's really nice, and I just couldn't give it away yet. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll wear it once. I don't know. But I haven't blocked it yet, and to be honest, there's a whole other thing that I really don't do very often is blocking. Actually, I don't block anything at all. I usually take it to my LYS and have the owner of my LYS block, because I don't know really how to. I've never, I can't say I don't know how to. I just never done it, and I've never tried, and I'm sure it's not difficult. And I did buy blocking mats, just haven't used them yet, so I will get around to it. But this was awesome, and I really liked this, so this was great. And it was a fun knit, and I started it at Highlands on the Fly, which briefly I'll mention to you, is an excellent retreat that is held in Maine, and it is in October, and it's usually the week right after Rhinebeck, and we drive down. 2 of my girlfriends and I drive down. It is about a 13-hour drive, but we have so much fun doing it, and we only stop like once or twice. We try 2 or 3 times maybe, just to grab some food, do gas, and go on. And so we stay in amazing cottages, and it's absolutely beautiful, and it's right on the lake, like you're right on the edge of the earth. And it's gorgeous. It is cool, and you know, I live in a winter country, and I don't like snow, and I don't like the cold, but it's not that cold there. Like you can wear, you know, a long sleeve shirt, a hoodie, and a vest, and it's pretty good. You know, bring your mitts, bring your hat, that kind of thing. But it's beautiful, and when it's really clear, you can see the mountains across the lake that are absolutely stunning. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of people come to it. There, I think it's about 30-40 people, our group, and it's great. You get to meet great people. This was my second time going this year, and there was a lot of people that were there from the year before. There's a couple people that come from SSK, which is so nice to see them, because some of them, that's where I actually met them, and they're great friends, and I love to see them. So Highlands on the Fly is actually two people, Heather and Katie. So Heather is Heather Highland Handmaids. She's the indie dyer for that, and Booster's Babe on Ravelry. And Heather puts it on with Katie, who is Knitting on the Fly. And the two of them are hosting that retreat, and it's phenomenal. And Sarah, I think it's Fiber, I think her name is Fiber Trek or something like that on Ravelry. I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head. But they all put this on, and it's a great retreat, and the food is awesome. And if you have issues with like gluten or wheat or dairy, they'll accommodate you, and that's what's great about it. And it's a small enough group that they'll actually take care of it. Last year when we went, I was really on a strict eating program because I was getting married. So I was trying to eat super healthy and clean, and I was trying to lose a little bit of weight for the wedding, which I did. And not only based on food, I did work out, so don't think it was just a food thing. And it was great. So when I wanted something like just egg whites for breakfast, because I didn't want sausage, and I don't eat sausage anyways, but things like that, they'd actually make it for me. They'd make me an egg white omelet. So it was really nice that they accommodated me. And I felt a little bad that I was asking them to do things like that, and they're like, don't worry. And you know, they were great and super awesome. And so if you ever want to go to a smaller retreat, like 30-40 people, it's great. It's a lot of fun. Check out Highlands on the Fly. It's in October. This year it's actually the same weekend as Rhinebeck, I just found out. And I haven't even thought about it yet. I've had so much going on that it just, and I think they just posted it within the last week or two to give the dates of when it is. So it's going to be the same weekend of Rhinebeck, which I think is October 18th, 19th. And that will, I'm assuming that will be good for some people and not good for others, for the people that do go to Rhinebeck, or maybe just because of other things that happen. So we'll see about that one. I'm still waiting on that. But so I knitted this shawl, the brickless shawl, at the 2014 Highlands on the Fly retreat, and I think I finished it, I know it was before my wedding, so it was probably end of December somewhere. And I didn't knit anything else. I just didn't have the time, and I think my knitting mojo kind of went because I was so excited for everything else and planning it. So it was just incredible. And then once we got married, I mean, nothing really changed. We were living together anyways before, but you know, people say when you get married things change, and I don't understand what changes, because nothing's changed for us, and it's been great. I actually feel like we're closer together, and so it's been really, really nice. And I'm excited to see our pictures. I've seen some of the pictures that friends have took. There's a couple that I posted on Instagram, but I'm waiting for our photographer's pictures to come in, and I can't wait to see some of them. I'm super excited for that. And you know, my husband was a little, I guess, you know, kept saying to me about marriage and things like that. I get, you know, people he works with are like, oh, don't get married. It's, you know, it's ball and chain, all this kind of stuff. And, you know, people know he's gotten married, and they ask him, you know, so how's married life? And he's like, my wife's awesome. And that makes me so happy that I could be that awesome wife. I mean, I try. I try not to be that nagging wife. I try not to be the one that's like, do this, do that, you know, or leave lists for their husbands as a checklist. You need to do this and check it off and check it off, and like, no, you know, if I wanted, you know, someone like that, I don't even know if they exist, but that's not what a husband's about, you know. And we do a lot of stuff together. You know, he'll cook, I clean. Not that I clean a lot, but you know what I mean. Like he'll cook and I'll do dishes afterwards. That's cleaning. Or, you know, I cook and he does dishes. And we've always had that where we've done that since the beginning of time where we started dating. So it's been kind of nice, and things have just been great. As I said, I think I feel we've gotten closer together. And we had such a great time. And the whole point of getting married was, well, the whole point of our wedding was to have the closest people there, our friends and family, and we did. And everybody meant something to us, and that's what we had them there for. And that made our day so special, and it was so amazing. It was just awesome. Like, I couldn't ask for anything better. So thank you all for, you know, putting up with the fact that I've been gone so long. And I appreciate you wanting to see me podcast again and sending me messages. Honestly, that meant so much to me, and that's what really made me come back and podcast again. And I hope to continue, and I'm going to work strongly at making sure that we, and I say we because I podcast and he edits, and I have to work around his schedule. He has weird work hours sometimes, and you know, I have to wait for him to help me do it. So once he edits it, and it goes up. But I'll let you guys know. I'm hoping to get one up in the next few weeks again. And originally I was doing one every 2 weeks, and I'm going to try to do that again and have it out every 2 weeks for you guys. And I'll let you know and try to keep you posted if things change. But another thing is, if you know anybody, indie dyers, creative bag makers, stitch marker makers, anything to do with knitting, let me know. PM me, send me a message, let me know, link me to someone and say, hey, you know, this person does this. It doesn't even have to be local. It doesn't have to be US or Canada. It could be Europe. It could be Britain. It could be Spain. Like, you know, it doesn't matter, because when you're purchasing something from someone, you're helping them no matter where they are in the world, and it's a small business. So let me know if there's anybody that you're interested in seeing on the podcast, or for me to review, or, you know, for me to promote. I'd be more than happy to help out and bring new people into our knitting world. So on that note, I wanted to thank you all again for watching me and sticking by me, and I really appreciate it, and I look forward to many more podcasts. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. We'll hope to see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a great day.